She didn't just pick up the violin, she was born into it. But the real story starts thousands of miles from the spotlight. Karolina Protsenko wasn't molded by fame. She was shaped by melodies. Born in the heart of Kyiv, Ukraine, in 2008, Karolina grew up surrounded by music like most kids grow up around toys. Her parents, both accomplished musicians, filled their home with harmonies, making music not just a pastime, but a way of life. From a young age, Karolina watched her father play guitar and her mother guide the piano keys, each note weaving its way into her identity. But here's where it gets interesting. When Karolina was just 6, her family left everything behind, in search of a new life in America. With only their instruments and a dream, they settled in California, a place that would soon witness a miracle in motion. The shift wasn't just geographical, it was generational. And little did they know, their daughter would turn street corners into global stages. Remember this part, it's important later. She wasn't just a girl with a violin, she was about to become a street legend. When Karolina first began performing, at Santa Monica's 3rd Street Promenade, people didn't know what to expect. A small, quiet teenager setting up her violin on the sidewalk didn't exactly scream viral sensation. But the moment her bow touched the strings, everything changed. Passers-by froze mid-step. Shoppers, tourists, even busy professionals stopped in their tracks, mesmerized by the emotion pouring from her music. But that's not all. What made it unforgettable wasn't just her skill. It was her presence. Her eyes closed, swaying gently, completely lost in the music. Karolina turned a concrete sidewalk into a concert hall. Cameras came out, phones lit up. Videos of this busking girl flooded social media, and the world began to take notice. She wasn't playing for fame. She was playing because she couldn't not play, and that's just the beginning. In that moment, the promenade didn't just give Karolina an audience, it gave her a calling. The street became her stage, the crowd, her fuel, and the rest of the world, about to be captivated. She uploaded her first violin cover just to share something she loved. She had no idea it would explode. It started with a simple video, Karolina, alone with her violin, playing My Heart Will Go On. No flashy production, no viral strategy, just raw talent and pure emotion. But that video struck a chord. Within weeks, views soared into the thousands. Then, millions. Commenters from all over the world flooded in, some in awe, others in tears, moved by the haunting beauty of her music. But here's where it gets even crazier. She didn't stop at one video. Karolina began uploading regularly. Pop covers, classic ballads, even her own interpretations. Each one showed a different side of her. Precision, passion, vulnerability. She now runs 3 separate YouTube channels. One for violin covers, one for singing, and one for vlogs, pulling in millions of fans and billions of views. And she built it all while still attending school like any other teenager. Don't scroll yet. The next part explains how it nearly didn't happen. She played for strangers on the street. Then one day, she played for Ellen DeGeneres, and everything changed. In 2019, Karolina got the invitation every young musician dreams of, a performance on The Ellen Show. It wasn't just a moment, it was a launchpad. Standing on that stage, she delivered a violin cover of Post Malone's Sunflower so powerful, it left the audience speechless. Ellen, clearly impressed, handed her a generous tip, and then surprised her with something even bigger, a custom blue violin and a busking jar to help her buy the puppy she'd been saving for. But listen to this. That appearance didn't just win her fans, it introduced her to a new world of opportunities. Her TV debut skyrocketed her visibility, turning her from a YouTube favorite into a mainstream sensation. And yet, despite the fame, Karolina stayed grounded, still busking, still practicing, still dreaming bigger than ever. And that's when her most emotional performance happened. Most kids hate music class. Karolina turned it into a masterclass of her own. When she moved to the US, Karolina didn't just rely on her raw talent. She began formal violin training with instructor Mr. Sam Fisher, who helped shape her into a technical powerhouse. While other kids learned scales, Karolina mastered entire repertoires of classical and contemporary music. She didn't just study, she obsessed. And with every lesson, her sound became more polished, more powerful, more her. Hold that thought, because it connects to something even crazier. Karolina didn't stop at lessons. She attended workshops, collaborated with other musicians, and explored musical styles that stretched beyond her comfort zone. This wasn't just training, it was transformation. She was building something bigger than skill. She was building a voice that would one day speak through strings to millions, and soon, those strings would lead her to something unforgettable. She admired her idol from afar. Then, she met her, in the most unexpected way. In 2022, Karolina got invited to the Kelly Clarkson show, unaware that it would turn into the biggest surprise of her young career. Midway through the interview, Kelly started talking about another guest, none other than violinist Lindsey Stirling, Karolina's childhood idol. What Karolina didn't know? Lindsey was already backstage, waiting for the perfect moment to walk out. And then it happened. Lindsey entered. Karolina's eyes widened, her jaw dropped. She couldn't hold back the tears. The woman who had inspired her to blend dance and violin was suddenly standing beside her, violin in hand. But it didn't stop there. Lindsey gifted her one of her handcrafted violins. And then, in a moment that felt like a dream, invited her to play a duet live on stage. You won't believe what that performance looked like. She used to play alone. Now, she plays with the best in the world. Karolina's rise didn't just catch the eyes of fans. It attracted fellow artists. From street musicians to classical pros, everyone wanted to work with her. One of her most powerful collaborations came with Italian saxophonist Daniele Vitale. Together, they created a sound so unique, so electric, it transcended genres. Their performance wasn't just a duet, it was a conversation between two instruments. But wait, there's more. In 2020, Karolina joined forces with Angelica Hale from America's Got Talent. Their rendition of Symphony by Zara Larsson left audiences breathless. Angelica's soaring vocals met Karolina's flowing melodies in a way that felt magical. It wasn't just about talent, it was about chemistry, connection, and two young prodigies doing what they were born to do. Stick around, because her next move turned her into a global brand. She's not just viral, she's everywhere. Karolina's digital footprint is massive. She runs 3 YouTube channels. She dominates Instagram and Facebook. Her videos have racked up over 2 billion views, and her music is streamed on Spotify, Apple Music, and more. She's a household name in over 50 countries, with a global fan base hanging on every new release. But how does she manage it all? Here's why that matters. It's not just about numbers, it's about connection. Karolina responds to fans, shares behind-the-scenes moments, and invites her audience into her world. That access makes people care, not just about her music, but about her. And that emotional connection is what makes her following so powerful. She's not just a performer, she's a presence. And that presence? It's turning into a financial empire. She's still a teenager, but she's already made over $1 million doing what she loves. Karolina's YouTube views generate between $1.7 and $3 million a year in ad revenue alone. That's not counting her merch sales, music downloads, sponsorship deals, or live performances. She sells albums, t-shirts, and branded items, all while continuing to release content that consistently pulls in 30 million views per video. But listen to this. She's also investing in her future. With smart planning, growing fan support, and endless opportunities for collaboration, Karolina's net worth is expected to skyrocket. She's already worth around $1.5 million, and that's just the beginning. In an industry where burnout is common, she's building a brand with staying power. Still with me? Because this next part might be the wildest of all. She doesn't just play a violin, she plays a legend. Karolina uses a Stradivarius-style violin, modeled after one of the rarest and most valuable instruments in the world. The real Stradivarius violins, crafted in the 17th and 18th centuries, are worth millions. Known for their flawless sound and unmatched craftsmanship, they're the holy grail of string instruments. So why does this matter? Because it changed the way she plays. The violin she uses responds to the slightest touch, allowing her to express emotions in ways most instruments can't. Its power, precision, and resonance are unmatched, and it's helped elevate her performances to a world-class level. The sound that stopped strangers in their tracks, that haunting beauty, it comes in part from a piece of history in her hands. And now, the girl from Ukraine who once played on street corners plays one of the finest instruments ever made.